There is a dark side to the AI business revolution that nobody in the entrepreneurship space wants to talk about. Day 14 of my experiment. Revenue dashboard open. I am staring at a number I did not expect, and my hands are genuinely shaking. Not because the business collapsed, because it hadn't. I handed every operational function of my business to AI on September 1st. Customer emails, AI. Content scheduling, AI. Lead follow-up sequences, AI. Sales page copy, AI. I told myself it was an experiment. But the truth? I was terrified I was already replaceable. That every skill I had spent 4 years grinding to build meant nothing anymore. That some 22-year-old with a ChatGPT subscription could do what I do in 20 minutes flat. If you have ever felt like the walls are closing in on your value as an entrepreneur, stay with me. Because what happened over those 30 days changed how I think about business, money, and your future permanently. Let me set the scene so you understand exactly what was on the line. I run a digital education business, online courses, a small community, and a consulting funnel. In August, the month before the experiment, I cleared $11,400. Not life-changing money, but enough that I had quit my job 18 months earlier and never looked back. That monthly number was my proof that I had escaped, that I had built something real. So when I decided to hand it to AI for 30 full days, September 1st through September 30th, I was not playing around. I set strict rules. I could not write a single piece of copy. I could not personally answer a single email. I could not manually post a single piece of content. If the business touched a customer, AI had to be the one touching it. I gave myself one job: watch, document, and do not intervene. What you are about to hear is exactly what happened. The ugly, the surprising, and the one thing that changed everything. And if you are sitting there grinding 50-hour weeks wondering if there is a smarter way to build, this video is for you. Week 1. And the first thing that broke was not what I expected. It was not revenue. It was trust. I use an AI email responder trained on my past replies. Customer writes in on day 3, a guy named Marcus, asking a nuanced question about whether my course was right for him given his specific situation. The AI responded, technically accurate, completely soulless. Marcus replied back with 2 words: never mind. Gone. I watched that happen and could not intervene. That was rule 1. But here is what I realized watching Marcus disappear. Most entrepreneurs are so busy trying to automate everything that they are automating the one thing that actually converts: human judgment applied at the right moment. The AI did not lose Marcus because it was dumb. It lost Marcus because it could not read between the lines. It could not feel the hesitation in his question. That costs money, real money. And if you are building a business right now where every sale counts, you need to understand where AI creates leverage and where it creates leaks. Because the gurus selling you the dream are not showing you the leaks. But here is where the story gets interesting, and this is the part nobody shows you in the highlight reels. By day 8, something was quietly compounding in the background. My content engine, fully AI-assisted, had published 14 short-form videos, 6 email newsletters, and 3 long-form blog posts. In my normal operation, I would produce maybe half of that in a full month. The AI was not producing brilliant work, but it was producing consistent work at a volume I physically could not match alone. And consistency, it turns out, is a superpower that most solo entrepreneurs will never unlock because they are too tired, too scattered, and too stuck in the day-to-day to show up every single day. By day 14, the day my hands were shaking, my email list had grown by 312 new subscribers, organically, without me touching a single thing. That number hit differently, because for 4 years I had told myself that I needed to be everywhere, do everything, and grind harder. But the AI did not grind harder. It just never stopped. And it made me ask myself the scariest question an entrepreneur can ask. What if my biggest bottleneck has always been me? By week 3, I needed to look at the money, because none of the growth means anything if the cash register is not ringing. Here is the honest breakdown. Week 1 revenue, $1,880. Down from my weekly average of about $2,850. That Marcus situation was not isolated. There were 3 other conversations where the AI's lack of nuance likely cost me a sale. Week 2 revenue, $2,100, recovering. The content volume was starting to drive inbound traffic, and the email sequences were warming leads more consistently than I had been doing manually, because I had been inconsistent. Week 3 revenue, $3,400, above average. And here is why that number matters. I had not done a single thing, not one sales call, not one personal email, not one piece of content written from scratch. The business had crossed my average weekly revenue without me. And sitting there on September 21st staring at that number, I felt two things simultaneously. Pride, because I had built systems that could run without me, and fear, because for the first time, I genuinely questioned whether the 50-hour weeks I had been putting in were ever actually necessary, or whether I had just been busy confusing effort with output. But before you run off and hand your entire business to a bot, I need to tell you what almost destroyed week 4. On day 22, a situation developed in my online community. 2 members had a public disagreement. It escalated. The AI community moderation tool I had set up sent a templated de-escalation response. It was, and I am not exaggerating, the worst possible response. It felt like a corporate HR email from a company that does not care about you. 3 members messaged me privately saying they were thinking about leaving. And for the first time in 30 days, I genuinely considered breaking my own rules. I did not. But that moment crystallized something critical. AI is extraordinary at scale, volume, speed, and consistency. It is catastrophically bad at human moments. The moment someone feels unseen, misunderstood, or dismissed, no language model on Earth can repair that the way a real human can. Your community, your relationships, your ability to make someone feel like they matter. September 30th. The experiment is over. Final revenue for the month, $13,200. That is $1,800 more than August, with me barely touching it. Here is what that number actually means, and I want you to really hear this. It does not mean AI is magic. It does not mean you should fire yourself from your own business. What it means is that the ceiling you think you have is not real. The reason most people stay employees forever is not because they lack talent. It is because they are trapped in a model where their output is directly chained to their hours. AI breaks that chain, but only if you build with intention. The people who will use AI to escape the grind are not the people who hand everything over blindly. They are the people who build a real strategic layer, who understand which tasks to automate and which moments to show up for personally. They are the people who treat their business like a system, not a job. And that distinction between building a system versus working a job you own is the single most important mental shift any entrepreneur can make. If you are still trading time for money right now, whether in a cubicle or in your own business, this experiment proves the alternative exists. The question is whether you are going to build it. So here's the thread that connects everything I just showed you. Week 1. AI broke trust with Marcus because it lacked human judgment. Week 2. AI compounded content and grew my list by 312 subscribers because it never got tired. Week 3. Revenue crossed my weekly average with zero effort from me because systems compound. Week 4. AI nearly destroyed my community because human moments require human presence. Final result, $13,200, a new monthly record, built on a hybrid model where AI handles volume and I handle meaning. The dark truth I promised you at the start, here it is. AI will not kill your business, but your refusal to adapt will. Every entrepreneur who is still doing everything manually is slowly becoming the blockbuster of their own industry. The tools that can free you from the grind already exist. The course platforms that integrate AI into every student touchpoint, automating follow-ups, personalizing learning paths, handling onboarding, tools like the ones I used during this experiment, including Kajabi's AI features and the automation stack I built inside Notion and Make.com. These are not future technology. They are available right now. And the entrepreneurs who are quietly building with them while everyone else debates whether AI is overhyped, they are going to be very, very difficult to compete with in 18 months. I will link the exact stack I used in the description. Here is your one action step before you close this video. Open a blank document right now, or just grab your phone and write down every task you personally do in your business every single week. Every single one. Then circle 3 of them that require zero human judgment. 3 tasks that are pure execution: scheduling, follow-up emails, content repurposing, data entry, FAQ responses, whatever it is. Those 3 tasks are your starting point. Do not try to automate everything. Do not hand your business to a bot and disappear. Start with 3. Automate those 3 this week using free or low-cost tools. Then take the time that frees up and put it directly into one human moment. One piece of content that only you can create. One conversation that only you can have. One idea that only comes from your specific lived experience. That is the blueprint. AI handles the volume. You handle the meaning. Stack that week over week for 12 months, and you will not recognize your business or your life. The gap between where you are and where you want to be is not talent. It is not luck. It is systems. And now you know how to build them. If this experiment changed how you think about building your business, smash that like button because it genuinely helps more people who need to hear this find this video. Subscribe if you want to follow the next experiment. I am already planning 60 days with a fully AI-run lead generation funnel, and I will document every number publicly. Drop a comment below. What is the one task in your business you would automate first if you could? I read every single one, and the exact tool stack. Every AI integration, every automation, every platform I use during these 30 days is linked in the description below. Everything is there waiting for you. The only question left is whether you are going to keep doing things the hard way or start building smarter. Disclaimer: this video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Nothing constitutes professional advice of any kind.